Shout out to my man HD. He's checking out the program at his office. Got us up on the big screen. That's nice. That's nice. The only thing nicer than this face at regular size is this face on like 65-inch television, right? I mean, that's what I'm saying. So in the news today also, obviously COVID-19 is one of the hot topics. And I know that there are conversations right now about what goes on in Charlotte with the mask mandates and I think an indoor facility. So it's possible covering that game on September 4th that I'll be in the press box with a mask on, got the credentials ready to go. And I don't know what will be. I mean, you think about this, and I don't have the COVID-19 numbers in front of me. I wish I did. From December the 10th or whatever, when Clemson and Notre Dame were playing in the ACC championship game in front of like a handful of people, and the fact that now you got Georgia and Clemson opening up the season, and you've got this COVID Delta variant, which, I wondered about this because, look, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, and I saw an article that, because I want to know, why is this variant spreading more rapidly? And what it showed was that the old variant, I think, infected, if one person had it, that like 2 people would get it, 2 or 3, I think it was. And this one is 7. So it's just ballooned the numbers up. And I mean, that's a big problem for college football, a bigger problem than I think anybody wants to believe it is. I think most people would like to believe that, oh man, we're through this. And it felt like it. That's the thing. Like, that was the tease of what we had back in June and July. Like, it felt like we were getting through this and there felt like some normalcy. I was talking to my buddy Bobby yesterday, and he said, man, it really felt like we were coming through. And now you look at the numbers and you see the hospitals and all the conversations that people are talking about, and it feels like we've taken back steps. And we have taken back steps. But the Big 12 conference announced today its rules for COVID-19 protocols, and Dabo Swanny said yesterday, and we'll hear some more from Dabo Swanny in hour number 2 of the program. But Swanny said yesterday that Clemson's not at 100% vaccination rates for their players. They're close, their players and staff. He said they're close. I think he even said they're in a good spot or something along those lines. But the Big 12 issued their forfeiture rules yesterday. And according to the statement provided by the Big 12, if a conference game is canceled due to a team not having enough players due to COVID-19 or any reason, that team will forfeit and will be credited with a loss in the conference standings. The opponent will earn a win in the conference standings, which I immediately thought to myself, well, what does that mean for like what happened a year ago in Tallahassee, where Mike Norvell and the Seminoles refused to play Clemson after one player who traveled tested positive to COVID-19 for Clemson? I mean, that was the absurd part of the whole thing for me. Either you trust the test or you don't. Either you believe that everybody else was negative or you don't. And that means you don't trust the test if that was the case. And I never will forgive Florida State for that moment in the midst of a pandemic where I should have felt some sort of understanding. But this is a team with plenty of players available to play. One guy positive out of the whole group, and the other team chooses not to play.
I'm trying to think, but nothing happens.
Yeah. Me and you both. Now, for the purpose of conference standings, both teams will be deemed to have played the game. In addition, a forfeit can be declared at any point before a contested contest, and when possible, could occur prior to the visiting team commencing travel. In a case where both teams are unable to compete, which I'm sure you were wondering, a no contest will be declared, and if needed, An unbalanced tiebreaker would be used to determine conference championship participants in football or championship seeding in other sports. The Big 12 commissioner retains discretion to declare a no contest if extraordinary circumstances warrant it. So again, that's how the Big 12 will be handling COVID-19. And it will be interesting to see how the ACC and the SEC and other leagues handle COVID-19. All right, coming up in hour number 2, we're going to hear more from Dabo Swanny. This audio coming to you from yesterday.